And there wasn't, much else going on in the NFL besides for the Jets announcing that they're hiring Steve Wilks as their defensive coordinator and Steve Hayden, however you pronounce his name, as their offensive line coach. And so Hayden used to be the tight ends coach for the Lions. So this is Aaron Glenn bringing his guy from the Lions, bringing some staff, bringing some familiarity with him. But the Steve Wilks hire, that has been speculated ever since pretty much 5 minutes after they announced that Aaron Glenn was going to be the next head coach. He was most recently the defensive coordinator for the 49ers in 2023. And look, he's got so much experience. He has head coaching experience with the Cardinals. He was the interim head coach 2 years ago for the Carolina Panthers. And so you can spin this as Aaron Glenn giving himself some head coaching experience on his staff. Look, Aaron Glenn is a former defensive coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator 3 weeks ago. You'd hope that even though he brings in Steve Wilks to run his defense with the Jets, you'd hope that Aaron Glenn, who had so much success, especially this past season with the Lions, you hope he has his handprint on this defense. And comparing it to the previous regime, comparing it to Robert Saleh and what he did for the New York Jets, Saleh was able to produce defensively for the Jets. The defenses under Robert Saleh were not the issue. The issue for Robert Saleh was he was unable to assure quality control over the offense as the head coach. And essentially, that just screamed that he's merely a defensive coordinator. He is no more than a defensive coordinator. And so, looking at this, frankly, the Steve Wilks hire doesn't make such a difference to me. I'm confident Aaron Glenn's defenses will be good. You have to be an especially bad head coach if what you specialize in, what you were previously a coordinator for, doesn't work out when you become a head coach. So I'm not worried about the defense. Or at least I'm not going to waste energy worrying about the defense. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm worrying about getting it right offensively, bringing in the right offensive coordinator to make sure it's not a circus the way it was under Saleh. To make sure that with all of the stud offensive weapons the New York Jets have, that those players are performing. If they bring back Aaron Rodgers, you want a coordinator who will make it work with him. Now you think to yourself, they weren't able to make it work with Hackett over the last couple of years. And that seems to be the guy that Rodgers should most likely be able to make it with, be successful with. So it's going to be an uphill battle. Aaron Glenn's made it clear that he wants Aaron Rodgers back. It is going to be not so easy for the Jets to figure it out offensively, to figure out a way to have a good offensive coordinator that's going to make the offense work, that's going to make sure they're incorporating Breece Hall in the right way, that's going to make sure they're incorporating Garrett Wilson in the right way. And if it's Rodgers, someone that Rodgers respects, and that respects Rodgers, and that knows how to properly utilize him in this offense.